Hello?
Oh, I still can't hear.
Gloria, please, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
No.
Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. I told you, Idek, that there's problem with yours, not mine. I told you now that the last time you might not use the
Can
same
anybody
thing.
hear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I think I can hear you now.
Okay, so it's like 27 minutes past the time.
Yes, let's start.
Okay.
I think
Good morning, everyone. I wish you a warm welcome to this session. This is the impact of AI on the hospitality and tourism industry. So AI for hospitality management. And our speaker for this session is Madam Juliet Kwejode. So I will read her bio quickly, and then I would hand over to her to start. Okay, so Juliet is a nurse consultant who is passionate about the use of digital tools. She has 18 years of experience in the healthcare industry, working nationally and internationally. She has a BSc in nursing, a master's in digital learning leadership, and currently a doctorate student in healthcare management. She possesses other certificates in AI, monitoring and evaluation, as well as leadership and many more. This is a short bio of our speaker. I would be handing over to her to start and add some more to her introduction if I didn't cover everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gloria. I think it's okay for us to move on. Um, I hope the previous session was an interactive one, because it looks like it was ongoing, 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 and it didn't want to end. I hope you enjoy this one too, the same way. So today we are going to discuss the impact of AI on the hospitality and tourism industry. Um, for hospitality and tourism, I know people will look at the hotels, people will look at the restaurants, the eateries, where we have fun, where we have entertainment and all that. But you see, in all this, once we are going to have fun, we should have fun that is less stressful. So there's also an impact on AI. AI can help you to do things less stressful whilst having fun. It's also another thing that we can look at. So sorry, I'm moving my slides, but it's not moving. So we are going to look at a few things under that. One is the future trends, AI potentials. We'll also look at AI applications in personalized guest experiences, AI-driven smart hotel operations and management. We also look at AI-powered tourism recommendation and planning systems. We will also look at the ethical considerations. You know that for this AI, ethical consideration is the highest on the list. I mean, the ethics, the regulations, those are the things that we have to look at. And then we'll look at the challenges and opportunities of integrating AI in the hospitality and tourism industry. Sorry, I'm moving my slides, but it doesn't move. All right, so let's look at AI applications in personalized guest experience. If you have been to a hotel before, you realize that you need to get there before um you book your hotel. I mean, you have some form to fill and all that. And people want to book something, you have to call the place. They will tell you one price right now. The next time when you get there in person, the price is different and all that. So people have actually put in AI chat boxes for instant guest queries. I remember I went to some place, a hotel, and when I got there, I wanted to book. It was like the cost of the booking in front of them was higher than the cost of using the AI tool they have put out there. So all I needed to do was to get out of the hotel for a minute, go stand outside the hotel and use the chat box to book my things. And then it was less the cost. I mean, people are trying to inculcate the AI chat box, instant what's the name? Guest queries, instant booking. I mean, those things, they want you to use that to personalize your communication with them, or personalize your dealings with them, or your operations with them, or your activities with them, other than you standing in front of them to do all these things. So we have the AI driven chat box, instant query, we have the personalized recommendation based on guest preference. And so they can actually um find a way of adjusting breakfast, adjusting room, adjusting services, just to make sure that their guests have a very good experience. We also have predictive maintenance for guest room amenities. So this room that I was in, there was this what's the name? Is it a remote control relate on the TV that could tell me my bulb or my light is not working, and it's quite connected. So people, the maintenance guys are alert. So by the time you realize, they are just knocking the door for maintenance to check whether what the alert you have given is the same alert they have to do. So there are so many things that are going on now that personalizes things in guest interaction. So once you're a guest and you're paying for service, you should have fun, you should enjoy yourself without stress. All right, so we have efficient operational management, um, optimizing staff schedules using AI algorithm. As for this one, even in the healthcare industry, is one of the things that help workforce. I mean, we have algorithms, so we have tools that we use to do schedules that you can actually monitor. You can let people pick schedules that you can identify your gaps. You can, when you want people to do exchange duty or more duties or more hours because you have more guests, you can actually adjust that. People will pick um convenient schedules, and you reduce excuse duties, you reduce absenteeism and all that. So we have the schedule, we have the tool for schedule. We also have forecasting, inventory management, preventing wastage, overstocking. We also have tools for energy usability optimization. So when you enter now there are most hotels, when you enter inside their rooms, you can get some shades of lights. I mean, the shades of lights are different depending on the bulbs and the energy consumption. All this is because they want to optimize their profits using tools that help them to get insight of what goes into their operations, even with water, even with soap, even with, I mean, all these things are quite automated just to be able to measure what is being done against their cost. So we have enhancing guest safety and security as one of the measures, the surveillance, the security. um it gets to a point, if you get into the lift without your key, you cannot go to wherever you are going to. You have to show your key, and that is automated, and that gives information before you can even leave the hotel. So now there are AI tools that people are using for proactive security. I mean, proactive security. So even if you leave something in the lift, you leave something at the restaurant, you leave something, you are easily traceable. So we also have predictive analysis for identification of safety risk, personalized emergency response. I mean, when you are in a room and you get a critical situation in the room, there are so many alarms in the room that could alert them that this guest in this room has some emergency. It's quite interesting. People think it's invasion of privacy, but you realize that you feel, you the individual, you feel very, very safe, even lying in that bed alone, or lying because you went to do something, or whether you went to have fun. The safety satisfaction makes you enjoy whatever you're doing. So two, we have AI smart hotel operation management. As for the smart, it is all smart, efficient checkouts, efficient check-in, to the extent that we even have a smart bed. We even have I mean, now everything is going smart because we need to make sure that we are putting in some of these technology to help us to improve the guest satisfaction. So the recommendations and the maintenance, I have spoken about them already. So efficiency optimization, we spoke about the schedule, we spoke about the inventory, we spoke about the supply chain, and we also spoke about the usage optimization. So now we use AI most of the time for data driven decision making, because this AI is supposed to help us to take decisions, to predict, to improve. So once you're able to analyze the feedback and sentiments of the guest, you'll be able to improve the services proactively, and that'll give you more income. So some of these tools are expensive, people will say, the cost and all that, but the process after, the benefits you get after, the feedback, the math evangelism, the people who will go and talk about your hotel and let other people come, is also one of the things that improve some the business. So some of these things, yes, people will say AI is a bit costly, but when you are able to get it right, it's okay. So demand forecasting and pricing strategies. We also have personalized marketing and loyalty programs. So when you're always improving, people are loyal, and so you're able to retain customers, you're able to retain staff. Just because you put in one technology that gives feedback, because you are checking your occupancy, you are maximizing your revenue. So people are satisfied, people are giving you feedback that you use to sell your organization or your hospitality industry. So at the end of the day, you don't do a lot in marketing, but people are able to market for you. My experience as a clinical survey, I survey a lot of hospitals with these kind of hospitality things attached. So when you are able to satisfy people in their stomachs, or you are able to satisfy them like that, they go recommend you to people. And by the time you realize, the influx is catering for the cost that you use to do this small technology things that you put in place. So it's high time we look at this and use that for decision making. So let's look at the recommendations for planning systems. So we have AI analyzes user data and offers travel recommendations. So those are extra things that we put in place in this kind of hospitality industry. You know, somebody coming to your place to rest will maybe need a transport, will maybe need a meeting room, will maybe need it. So some of them, when you even get to the hotel, they actually tell you by your logout what you are entitled for. So I entered one room, and the um the TV on the wall was not actually allowing me to go into the channels I want to go to, but to give me the information as to what I can get access to at the hotel as a guest with this kind of number. And so you can actually communicate on that TV, and it will do some work before you are able to get into to watch whatever channels you are watching. So people are actually restrictive and giving information and helping guests to get satisfied as and when they get some of these services. So real-time update and notifications, yes, it's also AI can do that seamlessly, because once the information is out there, it can just communicate to you. It's not now that maybe you're busy a bit, you're attending to one customer. So because of that, you can actually give a real time. You can just channel that to AI. Travel advisories, if you want airline tickets, you want bus to an area, all these services are services that promptly, when given, you'd improve the satisfaction of your guest. And then we also have AI assisted creating seamlessly travel itineraries for you. It's also there. And then efficient resource utilization. So when you use AI, you are able to plan your life quite good. So transportation in and out, cost time, you look at the traffic area, and then you'd actually book transportation options for either your guest or your staff. Or so the efficiency is quite high. Accommodation customization, we spoke about that. Resource activity planning, how people are able to access your facility or whatever you are dealing with is one of the things that you also have to look at. User interest, what is it that is drawing people to your place? Whatever you find about that, you have to just put your hand on it and hit it add. Once you are hitting the add with the technology, you realize that you are able to get more revenue for your money. So we have spoken about safety, we have spoken about emergency support guidance, and people are able to. There are stories where people lost their lives in hotel rooms, people lost their lives at restaurants, people had emergency there, and people were just not ready for it. But with this kind of AI tools incorporated, you can actually get response from an emergency unit, you can get response from first aiders. So some travel and they are not worried about some emergency situations because they have the guidance in their rooms. They know what to press, they know what time it will take for people to come to their aid. We also have the language communication. So wherever I traveled to, I had issues with language, but you know something, they actually helped me because there were Bluetooths around, there were AI translating some of the things that I'm saying. And so you get a real-time language translation. And so language is not a barrier. So you can just move to any place at any time, and these AIs will support you. So once you are doing tourism, tourism is one of the things that will exchange people from different cultures, from different ethnic groups. And so once it is like that, you need some of these tools to help you to do translation so that people enjoy using the facility. So user receive insights into local culture and ethics, because you see some of them come into the country, they want to learn some of these things, but it's just that they want to explore, they want to, but it's just that maybe language is one of the issues. But right now, language is really not a barrier. If you have a simple Bluetooth earpiece, it can do that for you. There's one that does language translation. Once the person is talking, it can translate it into your ears. So some of these things are tools that we can actually use to help and assist the clients and customers that come to our place from different walks of life. So let's look at ethical considerations. Ethical considerations, for the past 2 days, we've been talking about them, the impact on employment, and people are actually scared of the fact that it will take away your employment. No. So if you are somebody who sits at the reception, you should know that now you are going to use digital tools instead of sitting there and typing, or sitting there. People will actually be punching. I gave example yesterday that I went to just one restaurant in Ghana here to buy rice, and you had to stand there and do your own order and do your own punching, just because they have put a simple machine in front there with some simple what's the name, chat box in there, so you can actually request for what you want. If you want to inquire there, you just click, and they'll tell you what options they have at that time. And so you order your food, all you do is to take your receipt and just wait. The communication goes there to the kitchen. By the time you realize, in whatever minutes the machine is telling you, they'll be calling your number for your food. I mean, now that is how it's going. So you don't need a lot of receptionists at places. So what you need to do rather is to learn more of these digital tools, and then um other skills that come with use of AI, because I said the data is one, the prompt engineering is one, what to ask the people, how to build some of this software, how to respond to people. I mean, these are things that we can actually learn in addition to the skills we have in the industry, so that you are able to fit in the next 5 years, so that you don't lose your employment. You are going to lose your role maybe, but you will not lose your employment if you are able to learn other skills that is used for this AI. So we have privacy and data security, we have transparency and accountability, and we have bias and fairness in AI algorithm. These run through most of the industries, because privacy and data security is one of the concerns everywhere, because once we are putting it in that machine, we need the assurance that the data is going to be secured. And more times, it is an ongoing process, it's an ongoing build. With AI is new, so people are still finding out how we can actually protect the data. Transparency and accountability is the fact that once the AI system makes a decision, so this food vendor that I went to that was using this AI system, once the AI system makes a mistake, I cannot go and ask the machine why I ordered for rice and they have given me chips. So there is somebody there who would actually be accountable for the whole process. So once you put in that machine, the human being or the expert over there now becomes responsible for that, because these machines, they are garbage in, garbage out. So you have to ensure that the input you put in there for the response that will come out is the correct one. And once we use algorithm, and people should also consider the ethical things in the industry and make sure that it is fair. And that depends on the human being, not the machine. So these are some of the ethical considerations that we need to talk about. I know AI is new. AI is something that even people doubt the competencies, but we need to help users to be able to trust and accept the AI applications. This restaurant that I went to with this machine there, you see, people actually thought that when if they don't give the order to a human being, they will not be served. But funny enough, I don't know whether it is a management strategy. They want us to all be using the machine. So once you give the order, they will take the order by human. But once you give the order through the machine, it looks like it's quite quicker than the one that is given to the human being, writing and all that. So they encourage the use of the application so that people will gain the trust and accept that it is part of our daily living. So it enhances customer trust through AI, addressing user concerns and fears. I mean, when we were doing it, we say, this one that the machine is telling us 20 minutes, I'll dial 20 minutes. What the person there told me, just try it. just try it and see. So it will improve my confidence from now on. So when I get there, I'm not sure I'm going to look for a human being to take my order. I'm comfortable putting my inputs for me to get whatever I want and just walk away. So ethical marketing and messaging. We also have managing expectations and transparency. So as for AI personalization and customer experience, we've spoken more about it today, because this industry thrives on the customer's experience and thrives on customers. You need people to patronize whichever hospitality services you are putting across there. So the customer's experience is very, very important. So AI is looking at personalizing it and making sure that they get good experiences. Now we have the social culture impact of AI. We said already, how our culture will be preserved is one thing the human being has to guard. I mean, the AI is a machine, all right. We have tools, but our cultures are peculiar. Even for building AI information, there are certain cultures that do not have more information on the AI strain. So it is up to us, the human beings, to make sure that we are preserving our culture. So this is where the human being is really important. So when you are building the tools or when you are using the applications, you humanize it. You find a way of putting the Ghanaian culture or putting the European culture or the international culture in there. Now we have cultural engagement and empowerment. It's one of the things that is needed more in this industry, because we need to engage people and empower them to be confident in using the tools. Addressing socioeconomic disparities, and people will think that because these people are using some electronic order, the food is expensive or something. No, I mean, we have to actually educate people on these areas, because people would think that everything comes with a cost, but sometimes, for all you may know, the machine would come with a lower cost than you looking out for a human being. And then you also look at the culture, sensitivity and inclusiveness. As I said already, other people try to give those who don't understand their language options to be able to communicate better. So another issue about this AI business is the regulatory and legal considerations. So compliance to data protection regulation. I mean, the data protection regulation is all over the place, and people are actually trying to make sure that people's data are protected. So the regulator is there. And we also have the legal implications when the AI makes a decision. So if a customer decides to complain and sue the organization or the hotel or the restaurant, they should be ready to take up that, because the machine works on the inputs they put in there for them. And then we have ethical framework and industry standards. So whenever we are inputting anything, we should look at the standards operations, make sure that we are going according to the ethical framework and the industry standards, so that you don't say the machine has made a mistake. And then collaboration with regulatory bodies. I mean, every industry has a regulatory body. So once we want to go into the side of the industry, the regulatory body should be aware and create the necessary grounds to be able to accommodate the excesses. Okay, so let's look at some challenges and some opportunities in integrating AI in hospitality industry. As already, I've spoken about a lot of things. I mean, as for the opportunities, it's seamless. I mean, if you want to expand the use of AI, you realize that you have a lot to gain more than a lot to lose. For now, you can look at the loss because you feel like it's a cost, but when you do the cost benefit analysis, you realize that the gains are more than the loss. So efficient customer optimization, predictive analysis for guest preference, seamless communication, multilingual guest. I mean, can you imagine that you come in, you're able to speak Chinese unknowingly to you, and the Chinese customer is excited? I mean, some of these things, it is rare, but it makes a lot of impact on on the customer. So we also have optimization of operational efficiency. So you have smart resource allocation, you have dynamic pricing strategies, you also have predictive maintenance facility, and then you have real data analysis. This predictive maintenance facility it is helpful because you don't expect the guest to make the complaint. I mean, you want to take away that stress of the guest trying to make a complaint and making it look like your facility is below standard. So this one really helps like reduce downtime of the room, and your room will be used every time and you can generate a lot of income. And then we are going to look at managing the customer expectations and satisfaction, and that brings about the loyalty program. And once you want to keep your customers, I mean, the loyalty program is one thing that AI can seamlessly do for you. And then proactive service recovery and resolutions. I mean, they can actually resolve some of the questions and doubts of customers if you use the chat box, predictive customer feedback analysis, and then the integration of the travel preferences. So adapting to the market dynamics is highly competitive, we know. I mean, the competition is quite big. For me to decide to go to restaurant A or hotel A over hotel B, it depends on a bit of market dynamics. And so there is competitiveness there. There is adaptive marketing and promoting strategies you can add. There is dynamic customer demands and forecasting, and then enhanced crisis management, and then response. You know, the market trends, you can look at the market trends and use the AI to enhance your trends. The AI can actually do good marketing for you. Once there's competition, you can get something to be your differentiator. And when you ask AI can do that perfectly well for you. And so, you know, our future already, our future is quite bright. I mean, they said if you don't have a light at the end of a tunnel, use your lamp because there is something bright in there. So we have the virtual assistant, the interactions, we have the predictive customer needs, and then we have the AI powered recommendation system, and then we have the customer travel itinerary. These are the main things that are personalized for enhancing the patient experience. For operations, we are looking at the maintenance of assets. We are looking at automated inventory management, dynamic pricing strategies, and then smart energy management. Because when you listen to most of them, the energy cost is high. And so, in the future, our security and our safety is also paramount. The biometric system and predictive risk assessment, crisis management and response optimization, and the video analytic. I told you that people are now using hotels for quite some things. So you cannot get out of the hotel without and get into the lift or the stairs without using your key. And so you have the security that you have, I mean, to your disposal, just to make sure that the measure at the hospitality industry is good. For language diversity, I've spoken a lot about this, the communication, the culture, etiquette, and then the recommendations. Environmental sustainability initiative is one of the things that AI can do for you. The eco-friendly practices, the smart resource utilization, the carbon footprint reduction strategy, um, implementing the reduced carbon emission. That is one thing with the climate change program that people are doing in the area of tourism, and AI can actually do this for you. And so it is one new and blur area, but once you get it done and you get all this ISO certification and these things, you can see that it's quite important to get this. And then we have sustainability focused guest experiences. I told you this industry strive on the guest. So whatever it is that we are going to do to make sure the guest is satisfied, to bring more clients to our operations, is what we do. So today we have managed to digest a bit of things that the industry expects from us. The customers expect from the industry, and because of the new technology in the system, the industry is quite big and quite competitive, but people utilize the industry a lot. But with AI, one of the primary words that I always say is AI, the word that describe AI very well is efficiency. So once you are able to add the AI technology to your business, one of the things, paramount things you're going to see is efficiency, and effectiveness. Thank you very much. At this point, I'll pause for any questions or any contributions or anything that needs clarity so that we can go ahead. Thank you very much. Hello, Gloria, please, can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you.
Yeah. So, do we have any question or any clarity or any contributions? Okay, so it's quite interesting to know some of the things that other people are doing in terms of this particular industry. And it's important to know that the tourism industry is also coming into the medical system that we also call the medical tourism. And this medical tourism also looks at some of the things that brings about a very good customer experience. So all the things that they are doing for the hotels are the things that they are the expectations for the medical people who want to go into tourism, the client satisfaction, the travel itinerary. So all these things are things that are coming out to help people to get the value for their money. I mean, we cannot overlook it. So all we need to do is to brace up ourselves, make sure that we have insight as to what and what we have to do. And I'm sure that we will not lose our jobs, but we'll get other jobs that will make us more productive and more efficient. Thank you.
Thank you too. That was a very great presentation. Please, guys, if you have any questions, you can just unmute your mic and ask for clarity.
Okay. So if we don't have any question for today, maybe on the feedback form, we'll get a lot of people giving us a feedback on the presentations. Okay, so can we wrap up now?
Yes, yes, we can.
Sure. So today we have just looked at a few things in the hospitality industry that would help us to enhance our work. And we have gone through what AI can do for us. And we acknowledge the limitations of AI. It's not everything that AI can do for us, but as human beings, we can regulate some of the things that are being done to the benefit for our benefits. So it's okay for you to be in the known and find the tools that helps you better. Some are free, some are premium, some are so whatever will help you best, you find it and use it to your advantage. And because we cannot do everything, we need people to help us, and some people are not ready to do certain jobs. So AI can do that conveniently for us so that we are able to achieve more. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned something from the presentation and then you use it to help yourself. Thank you.
Thank you too.